G'day, Craig here from Six Wheel Adventure Touring. As I said before, I've worked out how to fit the uniclutch. I'm about to take the truck on its first test drive. I've just bled the cooling system after having the motor out to do the clutch, which on these Perentes it's far easier to bleed the motor and it's far easier to remove the motor and have to bleed the cooling system than what it is to have to remove the gearbox, because removing the gearbox, I wouldn't be surprised if the gearbox weighs more than the engine, plus the gearbox you have to pull out from underneath. My hoist isn't strong enough to lift this. Had to be done on the ground. This weighs in at 5 tonne. But anyway, yeah, I'm taking it on its first drive. Initial thoughts are it's taking up beautifully where it should. When I worked out all the adjustments, it worked out to within 0.5 of a mil of factory of where the finger height is from the pressure plate. So I was pretty confident that it was going to work when I was finished, but it meant shimming the plate from the flywheel as well as shimming the pressure plate from the adapter ring. Sorry, shimming the adapter plate from the flywheel as well as shimming the pressure plate from the adapter ring. Now, the total shimming needed all up worked out to be 16 mil worth of shims plus the adapter plate, which the adapter plate is also, I believe it's about 5 mil, so that meant all up, when I say 16, so 21 mil of shims, but distance, but it has the finger height and the pressure plate height, the exact same distance on the spline and for the teeth on the friction plate, and the fingers on the pressure plate were the exact same distance away from the flywheel standard. So there was no having to alter the clutch bearing or thrust race or whatever you want to call it. Spigot bush still is a factory spigot bush that you use, because that doesn't change or anything like that. And I'm very happy to say that it seems to be working fine. We'll see long term how she fares, but I've heard good things about the uniclutch, and pedal is way lighter than what it was with the heavy duty clutch. The clutch that was in it was an extra heavy duty from another well-known brand, but just a single blade clutch. And it was good for, I believe, about 960 newton meters of torsional effort on the friction plate before it would slip. Now, there was no evidence of it slipping or anything like that. I was just driving along. There was a bang from the gearbox and I lost drive. So when I pulled it out, you'll see from the previous post where the friction materials on the clutch plate were just shredded. That looks like a ratabine chewing on got caught up and there was just fur everywhere, but of course that was just the fibrous material and the organic material in the pressure plate. Excuse occasionally I'm double shuffling from habit, because the old pressure plate I did have to double shuffle sometimes to change gears, and so I'm still doing that from habit. But getting a little bit of belt squirrel now and then. I'll recheck them fan belts, but I did get a bit of paint on the pulleys when I painted the block, so it might disappear once I get all that paint worn off the pulleys again. I adjusted them up correctly, so I don't think they need adjusting. I think it's just that sort of slippery paint burning off. We'll see how they are later. I'm hoping you can hear me because being inside a Perentie, I'm doing 80 kilometres an hour. It's a noisy experience. If you're thinking of getting one, they are a noisy car. This one's been soundproofed or had extra soundproofing. And while I had the engine out, I also spray on vented the firewall while I could get good access to it. So it is actually a little bit better than it was, surprisingly. More so than what I expected. So anyway, just thought I'd give an update and say the uniclutches a go. I'll pass on to them all the specifications and what I work out on where and what needed shipping and what bolts I needed to replace. And any guys that own a Perentie and thinking of upgrading their clutch, or anyone that's thinking of purchasing a Perentie and wants to put an upgraded clutch in it, the uniclutch, as I said, it's this one, which is the uniclutch gold, is rated at 2,000 newton metres of torsional effort before they slip. They actually have a barcode on them that you can scan them, where they actually give you the specifications of your actual pressure plate when it was tested, not just the generic specifications. Apparently it's specifically your one. So that's a bit interesting, and I've got to say, the guys at uniclutch, bent over backwards. Daniel, I believe, was the guy's name that I mostly dealt with. Bent over backwards for me to help me sort this problem out, instead of just saying, nah, return it, which they did offer me to return it and get my money back because they didn't fit without modifications. Mine's the first Perentie that they've ever had one put in, so it was a little bit of experimenting to get the distances right. But I am a mechanic, so I was able to calculate and work out where the pressure pack had to be in relation to the flywheel compared to the old one. It's driving beautiful. So anyway guys, have a great one. Hope I didn't ramble on too much for you. And as I said, anyone thinking of getting a uniclutch, it should now very shortly just be follow the instructions and fit the parts they give you. It'll bolt straight in. And I'll tell you what guys too, I don't know how many of you have fitted clutches, but it just fell into place. The splines on the input shaft of the gearbox was slipped straight in once I bolted it up. And that's because the pressure plate pad comes as a one-piece assembly that's already assembled. And so you're not having to by eye or using the tool align the clutch plate to the pressure plate. That's already done for you. So when you bolt it in, it's lined up, and it was a piece of cake. The other thing too is because you don't actually use the flywheel as a friction surface, the flywheel, providing it's not cracked or out of balance or distorted or something like that, you can have scoring on the flywheel Tokyo, I think it was, or Japan anyway, by sending in pictures of your painted flywheel before you fit your clutch. So I painted mine, and the reason being is it's not a friction surface, so that's also one less expense. If your flywheels, you don't have to get it machined or replaced unless I said it's got structural cracking